Hello, multiverse. Hello, multiversal humans. Hello, special people. Hi, from wherever you're viewing from. So, quickly, I would like you to, if you're watching this live, or if you're watching as a replay, you can comment replay and tell us where you're viewing from. If you're watching live, I would like you to just state where you're viewing from in the comments. Introduce yourself and then tell us where you're viewing from live in the comment section. Okay, so this is a rapid live chat. I'll be doing this quite often because I've discovered that I hardly ever find time to create a special live session. So you're welcome. I can see one person is here already with me. Good. So let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know who you are and where you're watching from. I'm going to see the comments. So let me even try and make a comment. Can I? Yeah, so somebody asked the question. Somebody asked the question. Um, I find it hard to complete activities. I find it hard to finish tasks. You know, I find it hard to finish what I start because too many activities are coming in at the same time. And I told him that was a day me, and I told him that I was going to go live and answer this question. Okay, so I've been waiting for a perfect time to go live and answer the question, but it seems like the perfect time never comes. So I just decided to jump in and do this right now. Okay. Now, this is one of the problems. This is one of the challenges that multi-potentialites face. Let me set the ground. Let me set the floor for this conversation. I would like to start by telling you that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you if you're a multi-potentialite. I believe you already know that if you are here, but I want to reiterate that. Okay, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you as a multi-potentialite. Yes, there's nothing wrong with you. A lot of people try to make you feel like, oh, you are confused, you lack focus, you don't know what you want in life, you are just messing up. But that's not true. You just have a unique process and pattern. You have a unique makeup which you have to discover and find out how to navigate with that your uniqueness. Okay, so one of the challenges, I agree, that you most likely face is that you would not be, you won't have it so easy with planning. You won't have it so easy with, finishing tasks. It's regular. We all face that as multi-potentialites. Okay, so the thing now is not running away from your personality. It's just like saying, I'm shy because I'm an introvert, so what do? I should stop being an introvert and become an extrovert. It's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so what you have to do is to identify those weaknesses, those obstacles, and find a way to tackle the obstacles. Find a way to squarely face them. That's your identity. Find a way to work on your weaknesses and leverage on your strengths, right? So what you are going to do, I've been teaching this over and over and over and on. I've been teaching this for a while now. I created different strategies that would help you, as a multi. I'll still come up with a master class where I'll be going in depth on all these strategies that would help you. But basically, I'll show you one thing in this particular video that I wanted to use to answer the question. One thing that would help you when it comes to accomplishing tasks. Or maybe not just one. Maybe I'll decide to add some more out of generosity. Okay, so you being a multi-potentialite, you will get this creative storm, you get these idea storms, you get these activity storms. You want to do like 30 different things at the same time. You want to do like 50 different things. You want to take like 10 different courses at the same time. You have so many interests, you have so many events you want to launch, you have so many ideas for events. I have my notes. I think I should get that note. I think I should get the notes so that when I'm talking, I can uh probably not right now. Can't seem to okay. So let me try and see if I can get it and show you how terrible. Okay, so I've brought the note. So I'll show you how terrible my note is, right? I'll show you how terrible my note is, and it's because of the things I want to do. So many of them that if I decide to do them at the same time, I'm definitely going to crash. So this is my note. This is my note, right? This is it. This is my note. Okay. So I know it's not clear, but just manage. Yeah. Just manage. So flipping through, these are list of people that I would want to collaborate with for events I want to host. And this is running into 30 something, quite a lot, and I get into conversations with them and I'm so excited about this new one. And the next thing, I'm like, oh, there's another new idea, there's another new event I want to host, there's another new thing I want to do. So I just keep writing and writing. So and that's one thing you have to understand. Come at peace with yourself that you cannot do everything now. That's one thing that will help you. Come at peace. Become at peace with yourself that, hey, look, it's not some things have to be done next year. Some things have to be done next 2 years, next 3 years, 10 years. Be at peace with that. That, hey, okay, I want to host this event, this event, this event, this event. As last year, toward December last year, I wanted to host, let me see, I have the list. I should have the list here. I wanted to host, I don't know if I can find it, but I wanted to host up to 9 different events. Up to 9, I'm not joking. Up to 9 different events. I already wrote them down and I wanted to do them this year. I wanted to host an event on public speaking, on sales, on teaching, education, a whole lot of things, on business. And at the end of the day, I was like, no, I can't kill myself. I can't do this to myself, right? I had to reevaluate, and I told myself some of these things won't come this year. It takes a lot of energy to plan, to source out for speakers and all that. It takes a lot of energy, so definitely not all of them will come in this year. I had to reschedule, I had to replan. And I told myself, yeah, just going to focus on this and this, and probably some will come, because some of the events I finally hosted were not planned. Some of the events I finally did were not planned. So what am I saying in essence? Be at peace that not everything has to be done now. Now, what next should you do? Learn to prioritize. Learn to prioritize and, tick up some activities. Now, it's not going to be possible to say, just focus on some. No, just focus on one or something like that. No, that's not the goal of what I'm telling you right now. What I'm trying to tell you is, focus on what you can handle per time, so that you don't get overwhelmed. Focus on what you can handle per time. And now, when you are done prioritizing, okay, let's say this next 2 months, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. The other ones, don't throw them away. Just write them. And when you are writing them, tell yourself with your full chest that this one may not. This one may not come to light. Know that. Be at peace with that. Okay, this one I may not eventually do this, but let me just write it. Yeah, let me just write it. Probably in the future, when you come in the right environment for that particular activity, you're going to flip over to that page that you wrote it and you remember, oh, I plan to do this and these are the people I want to do it with. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, it's absolutely okay. Or this is what I want to do. This is the time I want to do it. By the time you get there, you realize, okay, this is absolutely the right time. So that's the first thing. Prioritize. And I don't know, I can't see any comments. Nobody's giving me the vibe. I'd like to see the comments. I'd like to see your comments in the comment section. I'd love to. I'd really love to see your comments. Okay, let me know you are following. Don't keep quiet, please. Don't keep quiet, unless I'll just cry and run away. Okay. So I'd like to see your comments before I continue. I can see one person. I can see Mary Yomana. Am I right? I can see Oluchi Patience is watching. I can't see anybody else. So thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, good. Good evening, Aaron Emmanuel. Thank you. So yeah, I said the first thing is prioritize. Then the next thing is spacing. This is the last one I'll say. I don't want this to be too long. I can see my Medinat. Thank you for joining. So, um, what was I saying? Uh, prioritize. Good evening, ma. Good evening. Spacing. What do I mean by spacing? Space out your activities. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Space out your activities so that they don't crush you. Okay? Be at peace with telling yourself that, okay, I can do this and take a break. Let me tell you what I do. Because when I started teaching a lot of things. I taught e-learning, I taught personal branding, I taught networking, I taught LinkedIn optimization, I taught personal development as a full program. And people would, people never asked me, like, why don't you pick a niche? Nobody complained. They were just busy looking for the new stuff I had to put out so that they would grab it. So one lady came to me and she was like, yeah, why don't you pick a niche? Don't you think you are confusing your audience? Don't you think you are making this? I was like, they're not complaining. No, did anyone of them complain to you? Just let me know. I don't know. They're not complaining. Nobody has complained to me. So, it would have been the escape route, the easier way out, or the lazy man's path. To me, I'm not saying it's lazy to pick a niche, no, but to me, to my person, I wouldn't want to do one thing. I was telling people I don't even want to be known for one thing. It sounds very boring to me. It sounds ridiculously boring, that you just know me as probably personal branding coach, and that's all. Like, you only meet me once in your life to learn personal branding, and after that you don't need me anymore. No, I don't want that. So I, I i I discovered that I had a lot to learn because of my appetite. I had a very strange, unquenchable, insatiable appetite for learning, and I had the appetite too for impact, impacting people at different levels, not just coming to them for one thing, just so that you only meet me once. No, I wanted to help people to achieve many things. I wanted to help people fulfill their dreams, and a lot of people are not unidirectional. You know, Human beings are generally multi-dimensional. Forget the whole niche down thing. Almost everybody in this world, we are all multi-potentialized in one way or the other. It's just some people have not discovered themselves. Some people are running away from it. Some people are thinking, oh, or some people, it's myths and biases that are keeping them down. But really, we are all multi-dimensional. Okay, that's why you can go to school and learn different subjects and you don't complain. But when it comes to business or career, you start listening to those gurus who try to fry you out of your personality. It doesn't make sense. So, um like I was saying, I had to learn so many things because I realized, man, there's just too much information out there. And I didn't learn these things in school. Like, I learned almost nothing in school, and I realized, oh, if I am to become relevant, I have to be well versed. I mean, I have to be knowledgeable. I have to know these things well. So I find out that from personal branding, I discovered that, oh, there's something called networking. There's something, you need to build a reputable brand. And when you have a reputable brand and you go for events, you can meet people, talk with them, and introduce yourself. So that process of introducing your brand to other people, your elevator pitch and all that, conversing, body language, psychology, all those things. Now we are talking about networking. I realized, oh, I need to go and learn networking. From there, I'll discover, okay, one of the places to network is LinkedIn or something like that. I need to go and brush up my LinkedIn profile. And from there, I discover, oh, I can learn this or learn that, and e-learning comes in. So I just kept running around, not the particular order. I kept running around. So I understood there was a lot of work to do, and I had to. So what did I do so that I could resist overwhelm, or I could overcome the overwhelm? Because it's impending. You are bound to get overwhelmed as a multi-potentialite. The fact that, in fact, sometimes the thinking can be overwhelming. The fact that you're already calculating so many things to do. Some of you have like 10 events to host in 1 month. Like, your mind is telling you this one will work in the first week, or this one should enter the second week, or this one. So many, a flood of ideas, very impactful, very wonderful projects coming to your head to do. Some of them you've even started reaching out to speakers or partners and everything. By the time you are done reaching out to this category, you find another category and you reach out to them. At the end of the day, you realize, oh, I think everything is going to crash on the month of August. So yeah, what did I do? What I did that helped me is I used that spacing strategy because I knew I had to learn a lot here. So I would go and take a course on person. I organized like 5, 6 different top rated courses on one thing, personal branding, because I want to be moving from here to here to here, and remove that nonsense ideology that you need 10,000 hours to master anything. It's a lie. Mastery doesn't take 10,000 hours. Yeah, I know. Yes, it's not what people have been saying, but who cares about what people have been saying? I care about facts. Okay, I care about real facts. I care about evidence-based research. Mastery doesn't take 10,000 hours. The book Outliers was misinterpreted, and I personally find the book annoying. It's a book of myth and biases. In fact, most of what the book talks about, I do the opposite. I do the opposite. I don't agree with most of what the book says. So it's not a well-rounded research. It's not an evidence-based conclusion. Most of what is there, 10,000 hour rule, doing one thing only and putting your energy into that one thing so you can meet up with the 10,000 hours. No, I don't believe that. So you can master something in 2 days, you can master something in 4 days, you can master something in 12 days. There are skills that don't require all the years to master. you know there are skills that you don't require, and mastery is relative. Mastery is the point to which your ability can meet the needs of the person who needs you. That is mastery. The point to which your skill, your ability, your service can meet the need and satisfy that need of the person who is looking out for you, of your client, your customer, your student, whatever. That is mastery. Okay, because there's no good that is good enough, there's no perfect that is perfect enough. So even if you are waiting to do it for 10,000 years, after that 10,000 years, you will see 10,000 hours, you will still see people who have done theirs for 20,000 hours. So they are more master than you. But that's not true. So I had to go and pick out these things. I eliminated all those nonsense myths. I deleted them from my head. I wasn't even hearing them before. So I'll pick one particular area and give myself time. Now, one thing about you as a multi-potentialite is that you 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 have interest limit. You have interest span. I will not say attention span. I'll say interest span. There's a period to which you expose yourself to one thing and it will expire. You may want to do graphics design and become a graphics design coach, and they've told you to niche down, and you do it, and the money is coming. I mean, you are doing it and it's working, but at the point, after maybe the second month or the second boot camp, the second episode, you realize that no, 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 this one is not working again. I mean, this is not me. I feel like I'm restricted, I'm unhappy, I'm unfulfilled. This is why you have to understand yourself. Okay, so it's it, when I decided to do that, I started moving round and round. So I'll pick this one, give myself, uh, uh, sometimes I don't give myself any specific timeline, any specific deadline and stuff. You can do that if you want to. So I'll pick out 4 courses of 5 that I know, okay, after this one, I know I'm holding this very well, and I dig around and I read studies, I read some materials, read websites. I love browsing a lot. I love browsing. In fact, it's underrated. The ability to find the right information on Google or on research platforms, the ability to find the right resources that you need to do something is a skill on its own. So I would go and read different articles, read, so that I could have the molecule of knowledge in my head, a framework, a skeleton. And when I have that skeleton, what next do I do? Right? I will continue my courses or books if there are any. I love courses. I don't read many books. So I'll continue my courses and read. I mean, take these courses over and over and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By the time I'm going to the sixth one, I'm seeing repetitions. By the time I start noticing that, oh, most of these things are repeating, or most of these things I already know them, I've been practicing them. So all I need is to know how to itemize, and I'll shift that one aside. Immediately I know, oh, I'm saturated, it should be pouring out, the knowledge is too much. I will start creating anticipation for a class. I'll come to my WhatsApp status and I'll whet people's appetite. I'll come to Facebook and I'll whet people's appetite, and I'll create anticipation. And the next thing you see me push out a flyer. Then I was very terrible at graphics design, so I'll just do one terrible flyer, one nonsense flyer, and push it out. People will still attend. People are coming for value, not the flyer. So I'll still put it, and people will attend the classes, and the after doing that, launching that particular training, while I am teaching, then I used to teach like a junkie. I used to teach like a crazy man. I mean, I so much love teaching. I still do. I love teaching so much. I could teach for 10 years if you let me, every single day. I've been teaching almost every day since how many months, if not years. But I've been teaching on almost. It's part of me. I can't help it. I can't help it. Except something happened, except I'm ill, or except I'm trying to stay away from social media to rest and recharge, which I advise you to even do. I teach almost on a daily basis, tirelessly. I mean, it's something I can do. In fact, it's something I would even be looking for people to come and learn from me. Let me pay you, but that's if I have time. But that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of person I am. So I would organize a free training. So probably 8 days, 12 days, 20 days, whatever. Then when I still had the time to be doing that kind of training, not now. So I organize it. And while I'm teaching them that particular topic, right, I am learning something else by the side, on the background. I'm learning something else. So while I'm teaching you about branding, I'm taking courses on networking. So this is how I'm able to effectively space out what I have in mind to learn, to teach, to do. Okay. While you are done with this, you are launching. While you are launching that particular one, you have this thing called mastery. You've gained mastery. Let me use the word. You've gained mastery in that subject area. You are launching it, and while you are launching it, you are not meant to be doing a lot of learning on that particular thing again. Now, I want you to understand too. This mastery is relative, and you understand yourself. You as a multi-potentialite, you don't need to be an expert. I know it sounds somehow. They've been telling you, become an expert, become an expert too is a relative term. You don't need to be an expert to be able to serve your market well. You need to be good. I mean, you need to be good at your game. But expert is relative. You can't compare. Okay, you will see a coach who is doing well. You admire the coach and everything. But if you put the coach side by side, John Maxwell, or put the coach side by side, Tony Robbins and co, you will discover that okay, yeah, there are levels to these things. There are levels to these things. You can't compare somebody who is teaching you how to make 6 figures in 1 month with somebody who is teaching you how to make $3 million in 1 month. They are not the same thing. It's relative. But that does not mean that at this point in your life, that the person who is teaching you how to make 6 figures in Nigerian currency is useless. No. Or that the person is not relevant to you. Not at all. In fact, in context basis, the person who is teaching you how to make 100K in a month may be more reliable, maybe more accessible, maybe more affordable, maybe even more, contextually relevant to you than the person who is trying to teach you how to make $1 million in 2 months or 1 month or 1 week or 1 day, whatever it is. So this thing is relative, and you don't need to do something for 100 years. No, you may just want to learn. When I started out coaching, at some point, what the idea I had in mind, because I saw a problem with myself, and I knew many other coaches were experiencing that. The idea I had in mind okay, yeah, I'm seeing this comment now. Doing one thing is boring to me, the other gives in me keep crying for expression, and that I am doing. Absolutely. That is who you are. That's who I am. I can't just say because they say coaching, Coach CJ, I will now go and enter one personal branding coach, and check all my flyers on social media, all the events I attend. There are different what is it called, captions under my name. So you see self-confidence coach. What was I even talking about before I got here? He's well. So you see self-confidence coach, you see personal branding coach. When it has to do with personal, you can't invite me to talk on personal branding and I'll come there and put sales strategist. Who will listen to me? Or you invite me to come and talk about mindset, and then you come there and you see personal branding coach, or you come there and you see digital learning coach. It doesn't make sense. People are not even going to connect with what you are offering. Okay, so one of the advantages you have as a multi is that you are relevant to multiple industries. Use that to your own good. That's your leverage point. Okay, so I think I mixed up something, but yeah, we'll get there. We'll still find our way out of this journey. Okay, so like I was saying, embrace the fact that you don't need all the years to learn. No, like yeah, the story I was telling, I noticed that there was a problem with myself and other coaches. They were doing they don't know how to design flyers. They had very terrible designs, very very terrible. They didn't know how to design. And I saw opportunities to learn Canva design. I didn't see quite a lot of good ones, but I even learned a bit. I learned a bit of Canva design then. So but graphics design was never my thing. It was never my. I fail at graphics. I mean, it's not my thing. Yeah, it's not my thing. And always be watchful of things you would say to yourself. This is not my thing. Listen to yourself. Don't ignore that too. When they tell you, hey, come and join affiliate marketing, come and join my network marketing team, and you always find yourself saying, no, this thing is not my thing. Please don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Even if you're going to finally go into that thing, be ready. Be ready for it mentally. Because anything that is not your thing can stress you. So graphic design was never my thing. I paid money. I paid more than 17,500. Different coaches. This one 2.5. This one 10K. This one I paid and paid and paid and paid until I realized, CJ, what are you doing? Why are you running around? This thing is just no gree. In no gree enter. I'll pay and pay and pay and pay. I still could not design empty space. I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this? I didn't even have the at a point I lost the appetite. I would just be buying course, buy course, keep, buy course, keep. I didn't have the appetite. Yes, I know if I learn this thing, it will have add a lot of benefit to what I'm doing, my business, my coaching. But I was not in for it. I wasn't in for it. But I discovered a problem. This is an issue I had, and I knew many coaches were suffering from the same thing too. So I decided, okay, let me learn it, not because I want to use it for myself only, but because I want to teach these other coaches. And at that point of my life, I needed to learn graphics design, not to become an expert. In fact, I did not want to learn from an expert. All the people I paid, I won't say it's just one of them that would I would, to my own taste and satisfaction, I would say, okay, this person is an expert, or maybe two of them. But the rest that I paid, it was just simple. And even the ones that were the one that I even tried to learn from, the expert one, I didn't even understand what he was saying. I tried so many things. The only thing I was able to do was to replicate his own designs, but I couldn't design from scratch. So at that point of my life, all I needed was somebody to teach me how to design simple flyers for my coaching, for my classes. That was what I needed. I did not need an expert Canva designer or expert whatever. I didn't want to learn Photoshop. Photoshop was out of it for me, So at that point, anybody who could meet me at that point of my need, at that point of teaching me from scratch how to design simple flyer that I can do in 15 minutes or 12 minutes or 10 minutes. I don't even want the ones that will be taking me 1 hour. Am I doing graphics competition? See what happen. Okay. That was what I needed. And at that point, anybody who would have come to me at that point and say, hey, look at what I offer. I train newbie coaches on how they can do their flyers in 10 minutes. If you charge me as much as you charged me at that point, I'll be very, very willing to pay. Even if it will cost me a lot, even if it's my then I was making reckless investments in my learning, so I could just sacrifice anything, even my last card, to learn. But the point I'm trying to drive at is, if you had come to me at that point, mastery is what we agree that it is. Mastery is what we call it. Okay? There's no perfect definition of a master or mastery anywhere. So you have to come to terms with yourself that, hey, look, there are some things I don't need to become pro at. You're a coach, for crying out loud. You're a speaker, for crying out loud. You're a writer, for crying out loud. You don't need to become an expert at website designing, web development. You don't need to be expert at digital marketing. You can do it for yourself, or you can outsource it. So you may just want to learn it to the point where you can satisfy either you are satisfying the task you need it for, or what you need it for. You want to run ads for your business and you want to do that just for your business and that's all, but you want to learn it. Or you are satisfying your curiosity as a multi. You are satisfying yourself just the way people get hungry for food. There are some of us that what satisfies us is getting new knowledge. Learning to speak a new language is not because you want to use it for anything, not because you want to sell it or teach anybody, but just because you want to feel like, yes, I have learned this thing and I can do it well. We move. The next one. What is next? Maybe it's how to pound fufu or process gari or whatever. You go and learn. That's how you get fulfillment. Now, the problem with most people who preach this niche down gospel is they don't consider other success metrics. The only thing they think about is money, and they tell you, that's where the money is. The riches are in the niches. Pick a niche, or you confuse your audience. All those bull crap stuff. I don't believe in all those things because they've never worked for me. The moment I tried to pick a niche, I felt like I was going to die. I felt like somebody was choking and trying to strangle me. It did not work for a day. They don't consider all those things, and you have to think about those things. Because on the long run, if you finally decide to pick only one thing, you are still going to, you will likely fail as a multi-potentialite, because that's not you. You are living outside of your reality. You are forcing yourself into a hole that's not for you, just like a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to work. It's not going to make sense to you, and you won't do well. Okay, so those metrics are also part of the things you are checking. The satisfaction metric, the fulfillment metric, the impact metric, the influence metric. Maybe what you are talking about right now, what you are trying to position yourself as, is not what will attract the people. Yes, it's not what people find attractive. You are calling yourself Canva design, and all you are doing in your life is around Canva designing. It's good, let people know you're about Canva. But when you post on Facebook, who understands what you are saying? Only one person comes to like it, only one person engages on it and all that. Even if you are making the money, sometimes you will not be happy. You will not be happy when you know that you're only making impact around people who want to learn Canva, and around people will not even regard you as anything. I mean, they just see you and greet you, oh, this Canva boss and all that. But it makes a difference for you. I've had people who I check my groups in common on WhatsApp, and I see up to 30 different groups, 40. I have people who are in over 100 groups in common with me on WhatsApp. If you are connected with me on WhatsApp, you can check our groups in common. It's even possible that you are in more than 20 groups in common with me. And I start checking those groups. Up to 30 of them are 30 of my classes, and they can tell me that, hey, I've followed you to almost every training you hosted. My journey began with you. That sense of fulfillment is indescribable. It's mind-blowing to me. I can't sacrifice it to go and hide under one thing. No. Okay, so I talked about prioritizing. I've talked about prioritizing, spacing. Yeah, spacing is what I'm currently talking about, and I'm bringing a lot of things on my mind. I said we'll still have a special. In fact, we'll have this thing often. This class is often. This was not intended. I didn't even intend to do more than 5 minutes. But this is where we are. This is where we are. So yeah, thank you for joining. And like I was saying, I had to digress. Yeah, I had to digress at some point. And you space things out throughout 2020. There's nothing wrong with focusing on a few part time. Okay, as long as it is not boring you out. If doing one thing works for you part time, it depends on your structure. You have your own unique design that you work. All multi-potentialites are not the same. You have your unique design. There are some people that morning they can do different things, but once it pass morning, once it's 12 o'clock, from the remaining part of the day, they don't feel like doing the same thing they did in the morning. So they switch. It works for them that way. That's their attention metric. That's their attention design. That's the way they work. There are some people that they can they can only handle one thing in a day. They can't do two. They'll get overwhelmed. So they can handle one in a day, the next day they can switch. Some people they can handle one in a week, or some people they can only continue one. If not, their brain will start turning. They can only continue one until they finish it. So you can use that model, whatever works for you. You can tell yourself, okay, this particular course right now, I'm taking a course on product design and affiliate marketing and graphics design. All right. So instead of me to be running around, hey, this one in the morning, right, this one, some people write to-do list, and they, because you saw your friends to-do list, you now go and write your own, because the person wrote study affiliate marketing 4 to 5, study this one 6 to 8, study this one, or they wrote one thing all true, you want to go and do it, you want to go and do the same thing, and you crash. So for you, it may be that you want to do this and this alone for the rest of the week until you finish it. You know, if it takes 2 weeks, fine. You finish that one and you move to the next one. So you have like 3, 4 courses on one topic and you finish that, and then you move to the next one, you finish that. Now, while you are moving to the next one, you are launching out on this one. It doesn't even have to be a big launch. It doesn't have to be a big launch. It doesn't have to be paid. It mustn't be paid. You can choose to charge for it or whatever. So you could be coaching people, you could be writing articles, you could be blogging about that thing, you could be posting on LinkedIn, you could be posting on Facebook about that particular thing you've learned. You feel okay, now it's good enough, is a good enough time to launch. Now you are back end, you are working on something else. You're working on something else. That's pacing. Throughout the lockdown, I was busy learning three major things: teaching, training, the right attitude, mindset, techniques to training, to teaching. Yeah, though people have been telling me, you teach so well, you do so, you're a teacher, you're a born teacher and all that. I felt like, yeah, I know, right? But I could improve. And why I wanted to improve, I wanted to have more structural knowledge about teaching. I love this so much, so I wanted to have the framework. So I decided to go and start digging up pedagogy, digging up teaching skills, learning methodology, teaching methodology, pedagogy, and psychology, educational psychology, all those things, courses, diplomas, learning tracks. I dug up a lot of those things. I was drowning in videos, I was drowning in courses, books and all that. So I was doing that. I was doing sales, so I could pick up a sales master track. I did a lot of courses on sales that period. Read books on sales. I read a lot of books on sales. So I would, let's say, I did at the point that I was doing like, in a week, I would be doing like 3 different courses a week, like finish 3 courses every week. 3 huge courses, not small things. Oh, at some point, I was doing like 2 courses in a day. It's funny, but that's me, right? So I would go through this and finish up this one. Okay, so let's say, okay, this one now, right now, I know I've gotten a good grasp of this aspect of sales, and now I'm bored. I'm bored. Let me switch. I'll switch to another one, and I'll do that one for a while. Let's say what's it called, teaching skills, education psychology, and I'll do that for a while. And by the time I'm done, I'm like, okay, I can beat my chest and say, call me anytime I can deliver on this aspect, call me anytime I can speak on this. By the time I have that feeling, the slightest of it, I'll drift. Then I'll move to probably public speaking. I had a course then that I was doing. Whenever I talk about it, people shout. I had a course that was 600 videos, public speaking course, on Udemy, and I watched 300 of those videos. That was when I was still in school. Immediately they said school was resuming again. I remember that my laptop was under, where was it, gathering dust. My project was undone. Like, was undone. I still had a long way to go. I forgot my project. That was during the pandemic. I forgot my undergraduate project. I forgot everything. And man, I faced life. I moved on. I moved on with my life. I was like, who are these people? You should wait. Let me focus on my life for now. So it was then that I had to pause. At that the 300 video, that was where I was. And they said the resumption was at the corner. I had to drop it. But that was how in-depth I was going. I was willing to go that depth, take a lot of courses on public speaking, that one, many others. Okay, so you have to know what you want first of all, so that you'll be able to complete tasks. If you know how deep you want something, you know how deep, how convinced you are. And sometimes these things come with clarity, knowing exactly what you want. Okay, knowing what you want. And clarity does not still mean one thing. Clarity is a journey, okay, but at least you need an image of where you are going, even if there are different things. And that's the unique thing about you that you have to embrace. When people say clarity, they usually mean one thing. They usually mean, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Focus on one thing and follow it. Focus on one course until your success. The people say focus means focus on one course until success. Me, I disagree. I don't know where that came from, but I disagree. So it could be different things. Purpose to me is situational, even. It's multidimensional and situational. The moment you leave your current environment and enter another environment, whether physically or online, you have a renewed sense of purpose. You have a unique functionality in that particular location. Okay? So you can't come to a land where there are no shoes. You're a shoemaker, but you decide to hide that one because your niche is toothbrush production. You come to a land where nobody is interested in brushing their teeth. In fact, they have stacks of toothbrush everywhere. you know or you come to a place where people don't eat noodles, and you say, hey, you're a noodle producer and that's your niche. No, come on, it's going to change. Your functionality will change, it will adjust. You have to be flexible. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I was able to do that, space out my learning, space out whatever I was doing, and not judge myself. Not judge myself. Telling myself that, okay, I don't have to do, I had so many other things that I was interested in. So write a book. I mean, buy a book, a journal, or whatever, long note, however you want to do it. All the things coming to your head, write them down and remind yourself that you don't have to do it now. This is going to help you. Write them down. The idea, hey, host a training on digital marketing, host a training on this, host this one, teach these people this, go to this and do this, download this. Just write it down there and realize, okay, this one, fine. If I don't do it this month, okay, let me push it to next 2 months. Let me push it to next year. No problems. But you still know that you can start, you can do it. You know, you have a program to host. It's coming to your head. You want to do this. Fix it for December, or fix it for September, and start doing the publicity now. It's still going to go a long way in helping you. So that is basically what I have to tell you. If you want to finish tasks, if that's the question you're asking, you want to finish tasks as a multi, I feel these things I've shared so far will go a long way in helping you. Is there any other thing I'm forgetting? uh yeah, I've said what I want to say. So find your unique design, find your flow. This word flow is very important. Find your flow. So when you hit your flow, don't allow yourself to get distracted. Okay, you may at this point in your life, maybe what you want is to become a coach and get recognized as a coach, right? Yeah, I'm not talking about picking a niche as a coach. No, I'm talking about from your heart of heart. This one is, it's topping the list. It's what is, you want to teach. You just want to make impact. You want to teach young people. You want to help them, realize that there's more. You want to host trade, and you start doing it, and there is that flow, there is that move. You are like, okay, it will be wrong at that point for you to self disrupt that flow, for you to quench that fire, quench it, and go to another thing because of shiny object syndrome. There are two different things. Multi passion, or let me say, mm, passion, I don't even know how to put it, but being multi passionate is different from being unnecessarily distracted. They are not the same thing. Being multi passionate, having different interests, they are not the same. It's not the same with being will I say, under the spell or the fear of missing out, or shiny object syndrome. It's different. Okay, so today you are trying to focus on something, and then you say, affiliate marketing is paying. Affiliate marketing, you go and join. Hey, crypto is doing this one, bullish, you go and join. Hey, they say it's Amazon KDP. Oh, Amazon KDP has given this person $1 million. You go and join. You will not do anything that way. It's going to be hard for you to focus. There are different things, right? There are different things. But when you know your purpose of doing that thing, you can decide to, okay, this one is part of what I want to do in future. This one does not align. Shift. Prioritizing, shift. Just there are some things you are doing right now that you should not be doing. Nothing in you connects with that thing. It's just pressure. Probably your friend is doing it or something. So shift. Now, this particular one, fine, let me buy the course, let me obtain the course, let me purchase it. It's going to be my catalog, is my own. Even if I don't do it now, even if I don't have the interest now or the flow now, tomorrow the interest will come or the need will arise, so I can do it out of impulse, of necessity. So you create a product, and then after creating the product, you try selling it, and you realize it's not working, and you now remember that, you once paid for a digital marketing training where they taught you how to run Facebook ads, and you go back to your catalog of courses and you search and you find the courses you paid for, and then you learn it. That's situational learning. Okay, that's situational learning. You learn based on necessity, impulse. So that is going to help you a lot, a lot. So yes, I'd like to know if this session is making sense to you. Let me know in the comments. And when you comment, let me also know where you are viewing from. I can see people. I would shout out. So yeah, they just give me a notification that my device is almost full. I've been overloading this device, like I've been overloading it, guys. So good. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know if you've been getting some value in this session. If you are still with me live, you can let me know in the comments. Okay. So I have Oluchi Patience. You're welcome, Mary Umana. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, guys. Aaron Emmanuel, despite the fact that I didn't announce this session. Medinat Oyedele. Aaron Emmanuel. Yeah, I've called you out already. Favor Chinaza. Yes. Favor Chinaza. Thank you very much for showing up for the live. Thank you very much for showing up for the live. I believe you got one or two things from the live session. I believe you got one or two things, and I'll be glad to know. What you are taking out from the session. Okay, I'll be glad to know what you are taking out from the session. What you enjoyed most about the session in, tonight. Yeah. So I would have said, let me pull one or two persons up on camera, on pull one or two persons on live, but I don't know. It's not something I announced, so um, you are probably not prepared for that. So good. That's it. Good night, guys. Have a wonderful night. It's almost night in Nigeria. Here it's 7:05 p.m. So good. Have a wonderful evening. Okay. And wonderful weekend. Bye. And when you watch this, don't forget to share your experience with me in the comment section. Okay, don't forget to share your experience, and invite your friends who are also like you. Invite other multi-potentialites to join the community. Okay. With time, we'll be coming up with a lot of things. A lot of people, a lot of wonderful people are going to join us, and we'll start doing more sessions with more experts. I've been connecting with a lot of them. People said there are no successful multi-potentialites, and I'm like, I know it's a lie. So I'll prove to them. I don't even need to prove anything to them. They should just go. But I will try as much as I can to get these people who are doing absolutely well in their fields as multi-potentialites, who are doing amazing work, very excellent work, to come and share their secrets and strategies with us right here, right here. So anticipate that and invite people to join us in this community. Okay, so thank you very much once again and have a wonderful evening. Bye.